What's going on, guys? It's Eric again, back with another video. I'm watching Australian Football League. This is Richmond and Hawthorn. Hawthorn is kind of taking it to Richmond. I think I seen like 45-13 at halftime. It looks like they do 4 quarters. I don't know how long the quarters go. I haven't really been paying attention. I've been trying to consume it and trying to see how it was between the New Zealand rugby and Australian football, which like I said, I think I'm watching. And there's quite a bit of disparity between the two. Maybe anyone that can, on that side of the globe, can give this American a little bit of, maybe if don't know the rules correctly, which I'm sure I don't because I'm used to American football over here. Rugby over here is just hasn't taken off over here, and I don't think it ever will with the 4 leagues over here, which is the NBA, the National Basketball Association, the NHL, which is hockey, National Hockey League. And you have I think I already said the NBA, the NFL, which is the National Football League, and you have the NBA, the National Basketball Association. And you have collegiate sports on top of that, which is the NCAA's, that's the body that oversees them, which is a National Collegiate Athletic Association. So if anyone over in on the other side of the globe is kind of watching this, that is the predominant 4 leagues over here that watches over here. We don't necessarily watch rugby or any kind of rugby-style football over here. But to try to get the 2 differences between the two is, and I've already noticed on here, advancing the ball or advancing the football is. I'm gonna say it's a football. It's probably not the right term, or even it's probably the incorrect term, but I'm gonna say that is a football. To pass the football, I noticed in the New Zealand league, you had to either pitch it or you had to kick it, and a pitch is a backwards pass. That's how I'm saying it, is a backwards pass to have the player advance the ball forward. Or they could kick the ball, I noticed. There's scrums. There's no scrums in this Australian Football League, as there would be in the New Zealand style. Now, I don't know why they don't do that. All I'm noticing is that's the 2 differences between the two. And it also looks like anytime the ball is kicked, in the Australian Football League, a whistle blows. Now, I don't know why that whistle blows. I'm noticing all this. I noticed the whistle blows. Now, and the defender couldn't kind of be right up on the offensive person, the one with the ball. You could kick a goal. I noticed that was there. And if you got right up close to it and you kicked the ball, I think within a 50-meter kind of a half crescent, I think that was what it was, 50 meters. I'm sure they don't use yards over there. They use meters. If you were in a 50 meters, I think you had the chance to kick the ball. Now, I don't know if you could kick the ball outside of the 50-meter line. That's just something that I noticed too here. With the New Zealand style, you kind of kept pushing the ball up until you had a goal, a goal area, kind of much like how football is. We have 10 yards and I think it's, 10 yards, and I can't remember how long it is in the football, where you have a kind of a zone area where you can kind of run the ball in. This one, you could get almost up to the goals, and you had to kick it, and there was I think there's 4 poles. You have a 2 on the inside, and you have 2 on the outside. Now, I know if you kick it through the main goal or the middle goal, I'm going to call it a goal, you had 6 points. Now, I don't know on the 2 on the outside, if you got it through that, what the points are for that, or even if you get any points on that. Now, I know if you missed it, you obviously didn't get that. You didn't get a goal, or for the try, or whatever they call it over there. Those are just some of the differences that I find between the goodness, I'm sorry, I just woke up here. I bet I haven't even been awake an hour yet, and I only have 1 cup of coffee here too. The difference between New Zealand rugby and Australian football, the Australian Football League. There's no forward passing. It looks like there's one big, huge circle. I don't know how big that circle, or what the circumference of the circle is, or even what the diameter of it is. I'm just noticing that it's a circle. And I noticed there wasn't any fans in the stands either. I'm wondering if they kind of piped in the music, or not the music, the fans, kind of how they kind of chitter chatter, and you kind of have that low kind of drone. Is kind of how I'm going to put it. It didn't look like there was any fans in the stands. There could have been. I just didn't see them. I mean, It's very, very different from American football. I will give it that. Very, very different. I'm kind of being starved for sports. I could watch Korean baseball, but to me, the Thursday night footy, I think they call it footy over there. I just seen it right up here. I'm watching Kalen Ward up here on ESPN2. That's usually where some of the, it's just a ESPN type of a sports network. I can't remember what ESPN stands for, but just, that it's a sports network and they have many channels of the sports network. They have ESPN, which is their main channel, the ESPN2, which is just another sports channel, just so they can get more sports there out to people. There's ESPN News, and there's ESPNU, which kind of focuses on the collegiate sports here in America, or especially in the United States. So that's the big sports network here, run by ABC, which is the American Broadcasting Company that runs ESPN or kind of oversees them, even though they're technically two different entities of that. So I'm trying to get, now it says a 2, 1, and a 7 and a 3 makes 45. Now, I don't know. Someone in the comments are going to have to figure out what those numbers mean and how all that represents here. Now, there could be more to the goals to what I'm seeing on here. Looks like I said, they're at halftime. Maybe they do a 4-quarter style of a game. I know in the New Zealand style, it was you had a 90-minute, I think is what it was, a running clock of 90 minutes to get your scoring in. Now, I don't know if they had any overtime or any blood time, kind of adopting the soccer or the football style of clock. Over here, it's kind of known as soccer. Yeah, I'm kind of watching it here. I'm seeing that, and I guess I really shouldn't be surprised that McDonald's is kind of one of the, I don't want to say sponsoring it, but is the big advertising thing over there. They seem to be a global entity like Coca-Cola is. Yeah, there's no fans in St. So they have to be piping in the fan experience into the stadiums. And I kind of noticed that with over here in the Detroit area. As you can tell, I have my Detroit Tigers hat on, which I'm a big Major League Baseball fan, which that's a whole other story within itself, and I made a video on this. So if you guys want to watch it, I may put it right up here into the corner if you guys kind of want to watch it, of the disputes that are just happening with Major League Baseball. But anyway, kind of getting back to the Australian rules football. I'm watching some of the highlights here. Yeah, they're just kicking the ball to advance it, or they can kind of punch it like this, kind of put it in their palm, and then kind of have a closed fist, and they can punch it to do, I guess would be similar to a forward pass. They're not physically taking it in their hand and they're passing it like they would in the NFL game, which is over here, which I don't know how many people in Australia or New Zealand or in that part of the world or even in Asia watch the NFL over here. That's pretty much all I can ascertain from the game right now. Like I said, I'm kind of being starved for sports, so I'm kind of watching the style. I don't know when the next New Zealand game or the next Australian football game is going to be, but I'm trying to get myself down to understanding the game. I'm sure I'm being a new kind of person to being exposed to New Zealand, let alone Australian football, is going to be a new experience. Like I said, I'm kind of starved for sports. Over here, the coronavirus is still big, even though we're opening back up over here because people have kind of been bitching to our governments to be like, hey, let's kind of open up here. But sports is still kind of closing it off, not to help not spread the virus. There's still kind of, you hear the term flattening the curve. While we're over here flattening the curve, we never took precautions like the Australians and the New Zealand folks did over there. So I'm going to continue to do this until the sports leagues get going and running up here. I'm not a big hockey fan, ice hockey fan, so I'm probably not going to do any real ice hockey, nor am I a soccer fan. I just don't know the rules all that much, even in those leagues, to really comment on it. But I'm trying to get into the rugby area here and into the Australian rules, or the Australian rules football, or if this is Australian rules football. That's kind of what I'm thinking is. This is Australian rules type of football, but it's the Australian Football League. Like I said, I am watching Hawthorn and Richmond. Hawthorn is just taking it to Richmond right now, but I don't know. I just don't know if the players are superior or not, or if Richmond is just young and inexperienced. or if it's the coaching. Like I said, I don't know all the rules. I don't know all the strategies, and I don't know enough of the game to kind of grasp this yet. But I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn. This American's willing to learn. This is kind of more or less kind of a sports channel, although you kind of maybe see some beer stuff on here. I do the beer review stuff every once in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Guys, it says 14 minutes, but I'm sure I'm going to condense it down when I edit it and get all this getting ready to go. But guys, I would really like to know what the rules of the game are. I've had good conversation with the New Zealand folks over there with the New Zealand rugby, and I hope I get good conversation over here from the Australians that are over across the big pond, I will put it this way, of the Pacific Ocean. Let me know what I kind of need to know. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. If it's stupid and I talk like an American and I just don't know what I'm talking about, you can give me a thumbs down. I really don't care, guys. I just do these videos because I like doing these videos, and I really just like commenting on sports and kind of stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Give it a thumbs down if you do not. Consider hitting that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification so you guys get more videos just like this one. All right, guys, I really hope you guys enjoy this video and have a good day and have a good night over in Australia, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Deuces. Take care, guys.